All right, so we're going through and trying to replace our lovely IKEA clacks, I think it's called. It's like a little extra thing with a relatively inexpensive Amazon shelf. We're hoping that it'll look a little bit better in here. We're hoping that it'll take up a little less space and also hide some of these things. As you can see, there's this stuff literally everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. All right, before we continue here, let's take a look at a couple of Amazon reviews. We got Jack Hughes here. It says decent sized storage cabinet to fit the space. Instructions were pretty straightforward and didn't take too long to assemble. Alex Va here says this cabinet is relatively well made, but was missing holes in key places. That'll be interesting to see. The pieces were also mislabeled, wrong number for some, no number for others, and instructions were almost incomprehensible. We are not dumb, but the combination of these facts had us make us think twice and have to redo our work. This next review came from Sunset Lover, and it says came with bent corners needed to be fixed before assembly. I can see that. That is a metal shelf, so we'll see what it looks like. Allowed a good hour to assemble this. Had a hammer ready because mine came with many bent corners that needed to be fixed before assembly. Still, 4 stars. That's promising. All right, today we have a goal to replace this lovely cabinet with the Amazon one. It's relatively inexpensive. It said it's made out of metal, so we're going to go through and build and unbox it and go from there. I have a few goals with this one. One, to replace this one. This one has been serviceable and nice, but it doesn't sit out it doesn't really work super well in here. Like, it works, it's functional, but I would love something that would actually have function and fit. I would like to know kind of, will the build design work? Will it pass the vibe check with our cat and with our wife? And will the color that's white metal work with kind of what we got going on in here? We do live in Las Vegas, so we have a lot of brown and whitish stuff, so we're hoping that that will blend in with everything that's going on here. And obviously, like, it's function and fit. Like, this function's fine, right? But I would love to function and fit. So those are all my goals of this one. We're gonna go through, we're gonna unbox it, we're gonna build it, put it up, and we will see how this goes. So, oh, I forgot one last thing. If it does work well, it doesn't work well here, we have a couple other locations. One could be in the office that I work in. One could be our entryway. But ideally, we replace this and make this look a little nicer so it just doesn't look like a grocery store. So I'll just want to add that last piece in there. Hopefully it all works well, and let's get to it. All right, before we completely unbox this, kind of wanted to show you, like, for the fact that it came like one state over. I'm in Nevada. This came from California. Like, it was packaged well. We had a slight little dent there, but nothing major, nothing I wouldn't expect, if I'm being honest at this point. All the way down, pretty good as well. There's a little nick at the bottom, so like for furniture, like being shipped a state over, like, very good job. Like, I can't complain, even in the slightest. Team lift to suggest heavy. It's 15 kilograms. It says I'm 6'3", like 250, so I was able to do it. But yeah. That's what we got. I'm going to get this all open and we'll take a look what's inside. All right, here's a little progress. We got some of these things out, something kind of cool. They do have numbers on them. So it's going to, a lot of different pieces as we go through here. I kind of light them out to make it a little easier for myself. Big one like that, one like so. And then we have, and you can see, they're like tin metalish, so they're pretty cool. And then we have what looks like a color by number, but put together by number instructions, which will be interesting. I'm not the greatest at doing this, but we'll give it a try. We have everything, hopefully, that we're going to need to build this. By the time we're done, this should be over there. So I'm going to get to that, and we will check and see if it passes all of our tests. Maybe we should add one more test in. Can we build this with instructions? Not guessing at it. That might be the last piece to it. Well, I'll let you know. It's going to magically transform to a time lapse as we put this together. Ready? 3, 2, 1, time lapse. And here's our time lapse. Overall, it wasn't too terribly hard. It definitely took a little bit of, like, you had to be a little rougher with the shelf because it is like metal, so some of the things didn't perfectly line up, but overall it wasn't too bad. Had my wife help out a little bit with it. We're in good shape. Followed the instruction for the most part. It was pretty clear to take a little practice and use, as you saw us going through here. We're kind of twisting through different spots and getting things in place, but it wasn't too terribly bad as long as you were prepared to have to actually be a little rougher with the shelf. All right, you're ready. Here's the reveal of the shelf. Overall, it's been good. We were able to replace all all of our utensils, not utensils, all of our stuff on the top there. There's a lot of extra space. There's space behind there, as you can kind of see as we would kind of wrap around here. It looks nice. It feels good. So far, so good. You can kind of see that. It's kind of another shot of it right there as well. Not mad about it at all. And then you can see it fits all of our stuff in here very well. So you can kind of see all of our stuff's kind of fitting there. It looks very much, definitely fits the vibe. Here's the shelf, so you can kind of see what it looks like. How all the stuff that we're able to fit in there looks more put together. I actually kind of feel like an adult in our kitchen for once, versus just having like a makeshift IKEA shelf. This kind of works for both of them. And we have two shelves like that. We have our protein on that side, and we're in really good shape as far as this shelf goes. So let's go ahead and jump over to doing our kind of wrap up. Okay, it is the next day. You know, different shirt, different cabinet actually set up. So did this pass our checks, our goals that we wanted to go with? Let's talk a little bit about it. So vibe check. It's here. It passed the wife check. She likes it. She's actually was surprised by it, actually. She was like kind of skeptical, but she was actually pleasantly surprised. So it's here, it's staying here. It fits into the kitchen. Well, we have all the white appliances. I was kind of wondering if it was going to or not, but it fits and it works. The cat check, her cat vibe, she doesn't care. It hasn't bothered her. She still comes over here, which you can't see off camera. She gets her churu and she gets her grass, and this may even be a net positive for her, because we're going to take the shelf that's in here and put it in my office, and that will actually sit up on a sit right by a window where she can actually potentially lay. Maybe I'll put a cat bed there for her. She won't sleep on it, but you know, maybe. So we got that. As far as build quality, it was built well. You can see it's kind of metalish. You kind of probably hear that on the micro. It was built, it's like tin metal. It's not quite like hardcore metal, right? Like, it reminds me a little bit of like one of those old school filing cabinets, but like more elegantly. So build quality is fine. How hard was it to build? It was, for me, like the rating, I'd give it like, it wasn't like 5 out of 5, super easy, like put it together and we're good. I'd say it's like a 3.5. There's definitely some stuff with the instructions that like were a little confusing. But if you can build IKEA furniture, you could probably build this just fine. Just take your time, work through it. As you saw in the time lapse, probably like I had to flip it around a couple times. Even got another pair of eyes, my wife in here, to kind of look at it, and we were in good shape. So I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 5. Vibe check was like a 5 out of 5. Everyone seems like it, and we're good. Actually better than expected. So that is cool. Far as build quality, like it seems like I said pretty well made. The only thing I will say, like you can't see it in camera, but like back here there was a little baby dent. There's like little baby dents. The white works with our aesthetic in here. I'm a little worried for my own like messy self that coffee stains will get down here. There's already a couple of them that are showing up, so I'll have to really watch for that. So if you get things dirty fast, white may not be the color for you. But it also makes it not look like a grocery store. I did mention that as one of the things. So you can open these up and you can have everything kind of sitting underneath here. These shelves that are in the middle here are adjustable, so you can adjust these up and down. I do like the fact there's also a magnet on the shelf here, so you can. That is a little satisfying. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Same idea with this other side. This one's a little stiffer, which I think just because these is kind of like, I don't know if it's sheet metal, tin, what it exactly is. Some of the stuff can get slightly bent. I did have to slightly bend one shelf back just a little bit because it didn't quite line up. So I took like a pliers and kind of bent it back a little bit. So you may have a little bit of that going on. Yeah. Overall, this is going to be a shelf that stays in our kitchen, hopefully for a very long time. It works well. Other than that, if I had to give any negatives, I'm tall. This is not that tall. So like I'm having to bend down to get the things, which if you're, 6'3" or taller, this may be a little short for you. This is definitely shorter than all of our counter spaces that are sitting around here by a good, I'd say 6 to 8 inches, if not more. So keep that in mind if that's important to you. The white color is fantastic. It looks nice, but it's definitely going to pick up things, so keep that in mind. We may eventually put some sort of like mat or something down here to kind of help kind of with that, because I'm messy when it comes to my coffee. It's been literally, we cleaned this yesterday. I got coffee grounds on here. Slight little dents, which I kind of expected. If you've bought anything off Amazon, specifically like bigger items, they just almost never get to you like in perfect condition, but this was definitely in very good shape. So overall, I'd give this like entire process like a 4 out of 5. Would do again, would get this item again. So that's kind of my general overview as far as everything as far as that goes. Everything we talked about before. So um, in the reviews, there were you saw a couple of the not so good reviews. I had all the holes. There wasn't any major denting. There was some minor denting. It was relatively easy to put together, and for me, it was worth my time. So I'm a fan of it. More importantly, my wife's a fan of it. Cat seems to not care, which is perfect. She doesn't have to care. She just has to like not hate it and be scared of it. Um, so I will leave it with a couple last party words. One, the brand did send this out. They want us to review it. It sent it out to be reviewed. Not so we did get this for free, but our opinions on are our own. So keep that in mind with everything I'm saying here. That's why I gave it a 4 out of 5. Not gonna give it a glowing 5 out of 5. You should go buy it, right? Like it was good. It was decent. And for the price, I definitely would buy this over like the IKEA shelves that we had. We just had that for when we moved, and it worked well, so we kind of kept it until we ran into a situation like this. But if I, knowing what I know right now, would I buy it? Yes, I would. And that's not because the brand sent it to me. Other than that, hopefully this is helpful as my first attempt at kind of a longer review with multiple shots and all that fun stuff. Hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully give you an idea. If it was helpful and you're thinking about buying this, there should be a link below in the description. Leave a like if you like this kind of content. You want me to keep working through it. I'm going to keep doing this kind of stuff, but I also need your feedback in the comments. What did you like? What didn't you like? How can I get better to better help you make buying decision? Um, Other than that, this is Jamie with Jamie Tries It, and we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Later.